and I can't slow down, no. Can you feel it too? There ain't no stopping now. Feet off the ground, head to the sky. Yeah, wind by my side. You in my vision, directly we collide. You pull me in, I don't resist. Time seems to fly, but the clock doesn't tick. I crash into you, we both feel the hit. We both feel the way that our chemicals mix, and I wish that
I just keep my eyes shut. Maybe this time it'll be enough.
So I need the dark. Without you here, I wouldn't never see the stars. I'm headed for ya. Put on the gas. I'm coming straight at you, no looking back.
Your heart is a magnet, I'm coming at you. Girl, you're my target, I'm aiming at you. You're a comet, I'm trying to catch you. We can break any rule they ever taught you. Forget about anything they ever bought you. Cause me and you don't need a lot in this world to get by. Plus you know I got you, you pull me in. I don't resist, time seems to fly but the clock doesn't tick. I crash into you, we both feel the hit. We both feel the way that our chemicals mix. And I wish that
if I just keep my eyes shut, maybe this time it'll be enough.
So I need the dark. Without you here, I wouldn't never see the stars. I'm headed for ya. Put on the gas. I'm coming straight at you, no looking back.
Say your soul right now until the truth
Good evening, everyone on the Apex server. Good morning to everyone who are watching on the EU server, but this is mostly for the APAC people. Exciting games ahead. We had a 2-day break, and I hope y'all use this time to take a good rest. And as for the teams we are watching tonight, they would have trained a lot to the run-up of this prestigious stage of the tournament. It's the final stage, the top 4 final stage. We're following the upper bracket and lower bracket first round. So for those of you who have no idea what's going on, and obviously a lot of you probably are watching the stream to get containers, but you don't want to be bored by nothing going on. There is obviously something going on. So this is going to be a double elimination format with 4 teams here. They are all the games are played in the best of 7 series, except the grand final, which will be played in a best of 9 series. The prize fee for each team is as follows. The first place will get $7,500 US, second place $3,500 US, third place $2,500, and fourth place $1,500, all in US dollars. So today and the next 2 days will be the dates for the final stage games. You don't want to miss any action here because they're all going to be extremely close and extremely exciting. And I can assure you they are going to be some of the best games you've seen so far. But if you want to go out with your mates and chill out and hang out with your mates on some nights, then thanks Tolian for the lovely graphic here. You can participate in the quick tournaments on every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday and Sunday, and you can earn in-game prizes there. You can also get coins, especially on Saturdays. And they are 7 vs 7, and you can always choose whichever tier that is most comfortable for you. Although I would definitely recommend tier 10 tournaments, but obviously not everyone has tier 10 tanks, so this is understandable. So this is the bracket. So we will follow first EVG versus RISQ, and the winner of that will not have to play anymore tonight, and they will wait until they will participate in the upper bracket final matches tomorrow. The loser of this bracket will face the loser of GV versus WISE, and we will follow the lower bracket first round, which is where the losers of the upper bracket first round meet. So here is a brief rundown. So we will begin with the upper bracket first round. The maps are Alfredstadt, Yukon, Winter Marinovka, and Rockfield. And then we will have the lower bracket first round. The maps are Maya Ruins, Vineyards, Normandy, and Oasis Palms. And exactly what time it will start for the second match is not entirely clear. For the group stage, it will start at 4 past, but I remember the bracket games, the knockout stage games, they usually start on the start according to what is written in the regulations. So you could expect the games to start a little bit later at 10 past, but obviously this stream has a 3-minute delay, so by the time you are watching this slide, the time that the games will start on the stream will be around 3 minutes later. The reason why we are setting this stream delay is to prevent teams from watching the stream and knowing exactly and instantly where the enemies are positioned and what tanks they are taking. We don't want that to happen, obviously. We don't want anyone to have an advantage over the other, and it makes games a lot less exciting, to be honest with you. when the surprise factor is gone. Alright, so here is the roster for EVG. So we have Milkshake as the captain of the team, and we also have Chromatrox, Gotsu Polly, Forced Wipe, Lecolira, UI Apsis, Type 1078, Born. I'm not going to say that on stream. For the next word, and then we have Spartan Sword and 121R. RISQ team, we have an inappropriate username as the captain of the team. We also have David. I think that's Attenborough. I might have butchered that British name, which I profusely apologize as a British, but well, anyway, we also have Lisa Alisa, Sugar Mugu. Suppose that's not in caps for the first one. Some of them might have been mistakenly put in caps. Not for EVG. EVG is fine. Okay, let's continue. So we have not Wook, not Woogu and Mugu, Sugar and Mugu. Bifrost, Mandalorian, Wilway, Kapas, Holland, and Silver. Okay, so basically, if you already recognize some of the names here, RISQ is just a RISQ team you all know from last year, and then we also have EVG, which contains mostly P1 players from last year. But we'll move on from that, and we have Babox giving us some really good predictions. Here are the predictions for the upper bracket first round matches. We have EVG versus RISQ, predicted to go really, really close, but in favor of RISQ, and the odds are somewhat close as well, but it's predicted to go to a tiebreaker. As for GB versus Wise, Mapbox is saying Wise is going to do pretty good, but we all know that GB has stepped up a lot this season, so this scoreline might not happen in the end. I do see GB potentially winning Wise, and it all depends on whether Wise can replicate the form of RN last season, where they did really, really well there. But we will see. The power rating here has been updated, and it's as follows. The top 5 remains pretty much the same. RISQ, Wise, EVG, GB, and Sarsu in the top 5. Obviously, Sarsu was not as good as last season, but they were able to beat some of the clans below them. They weren't like completely tanking, so they dropped a lot in rate in the rating points, but they are still hanging on there. And we will see about next season. There is a good chance if they don't do well next season, they could potentially drop further down the power rating table. Nomad has risen to the 6th place after an impressive season, because they fortified their roster pretty much. They got some really good players there, so it's not a surprise that they are rising up the power rating table. And I do think they could continue to rise further up. I think there's a gap between the 4th place and the 5th place at the moment. I do think we are seeing that too on the Apex server. On the EU server, this is a lot less clear, and the power rating table could be found on my Discord server. And you know what the power rating for the EU server is. EA, previously known as previously contained. EA has players from Riri from last season. They performed alright this season, but there is still room for improvement. Of course, there was a lot of promise last season. They went really close to some of the big names here, but they weren't really changing much in the position. The last is in the 8th place. I think they are still in the top 8. They're hanging about. We will see whether they will participate in the next few seasons this year. Excited to see how they're going to perform there. Also another team with a lot of potential. Rats did really well this season, and they deserve to rise further up the table. And if they continue to perform well in the next few seasons, they could potentially break into top 8. However, 7 Sip with players from Brown last season, they dropped down the table. I think they lost some key players to other teams, which affected the performance essentially. SZ had a really tough group, to be honest with you, and they didn't win a lot of their matches in the end, but they still they were still hanging about in this position because they obviously beat some clans below. Boone, DTE, and DT pretty much stayed in the same position, if I remember correctly. EOS rose a little bit to the 14th place, but RISQ had a little bit of a disappointing season here. Although they made it to the top 16, which I think is their first time doing so. I don't think they've won any matches in the round robin stage, which is but as you all know, they are also a team to watch. Unfortunately, UQ dropped out of top 16 in place of DGS, and I hope DGS will come back next season. Love to see how they're going to play here. So pretty much an overview of the teams of the Clan War scene on the Apex server. Really love that the top 16 in the group stage is exactly the top 16 we're seeing. So that's brilliant. So the most important thing here is for you to get rewards. There are rewards for this stream. You can get fan containers. So very easy. Just click the link. Wait, click the link that is in the chat. I think I provided that link also in the description. Go to this link and you will receive instructions for watching the stream and getting rewards. So that will bring you directly to that page. But if you're seeing a grey screen, there is a high chance that you haven't enabled your cookies. Particularly if you don't want Wargaming to steal your data, then you just only have to enable the targeting cookies. Make sure you disable them after you watch the stream. And obviously you must log in the portal with your in-game account on the right server, and this is the Apex server, so it's only available for the Apex accounts. So I'm going to leave it here. Well, leave it here for now because we're now going to be seeing some amazing matches. And we are now on to upper+lower. EVG versus RISQ. Very interesting lineups from both teams. I'm making sure that I'm getting the right teams, the right scoreboards, the right scene. And we're going to be seeing EVG rolling out with triple Strift Ks, double T110E5s, and double VK72.01K. On the other hand, we are seeing RISQ going about with quadruple 60 TPs, double IS4, and T100LT. And both of these teams are going for the C cap, the southeastern cap. And the north spawn, as you're seeing right now, has the advantage of getting into the cap more quickly than the south spawn. So that is the thing, exactly what EVG is trying to do. They're trying to get a cap lead, and that forces RISQ to do something here. They will find no one on A, but they're playing a little bit safe because they don't really exactly know where all 7 tanks of EVG are, so it's understandable that they are not taking A almost immediately, but that doesn't matter here because now they're going to take A, and I think at this point it's still possible we're seeing an 80-point gap. Are we going to be seeing an 80-point gap? Yeah, we're going to be seeing an 80-point gap, so RISQ does not RISQ has to kill more than a tank in order to flip the cap points back to their favor. However, EVG also loses some hit points, and that's not what you want to do when you have the cap lead, because you don't want to make it easy for RISQ to rotate and take out all your tanks. But that's a big shot from Legolera onto Sugar and Miku. Both teams dropping hit points here. EVG still leading by around 1,000 hit points, I think, due to them not taking a light tank at all. So Kerfuffle saying map what Maddox is. It's supercomputer is not the same as Maddox. It's not the legendary player Maddox. It's just supercomputer Maddox making predictions, and for the EU equivalent, that's Thomas Peterson, which is a combination of the two legendary callers, Thomas and also Zerd. I mean, Zerd's name is Peter, so we got this kind of nice name, Thomas Peterson. So, and I think NA use Bramble, which is a combination of Pramble, the legendary clan Pramble, and the bot. I mean, essentially, it's a bot making all these complicated mathematical calculations. I mean, I'm saying all these stuff right now because I can. Because look at these two teams; they aren't even doing much. They're pretty much sitting at where they are. They are just sitting idly, and it's not something that you see on the Apex server often, and not something you see definitely on Albershot often. Milkshake taking a hit from Mandalorian. Oh, this is going to bring the hit points close now. Things could go really wrong for either team, but the RISQ is the team that needs to make a rotation. The problem potentially I'm seeing for RISQ here is that both sides are relatively disjointed. So, given that EVG knows exactly where they are, they could potentially just rush one side, and they have the numerical advantage. And they are doing a good job in chipping away hit with Shugamuga. Shugamuga needs to stay safe now, but Legolera is also in a really tricky position because his side is going to be shot by both Mandalorian and a T100 LT. His front might be shot by David and Sugar. Now RISQ gets B. This is an important cap here. That means they're going to have a higher rate of increase in the cap points, and EVG now is the team that needs to make a move now. They also don't have the hit points because they lost a lot of hit points from the crossfire RISQ. EVG, are they now making a push? We are now seeing potentially 1-2-1 now, making a play over to Mandalorian. Legolera, Gotsu, and Milkshake has to stay alive here, but 1-2-1 now has rotated back. EVG looks a bit confused on what they're going to do. Their cap points are going to be in favor of RISQ now, and EVG definitely needs a kill or two in order to bring it back. But that's a big shot onto Gosu. Kappas is also now dead. It's now a 6 versus 6 now. This is going to be important here. Lisa makes a great kill onto Milkshake. Legolera now also quite low on fire, and will be destroyed by fire. RISQ with that important kill brings them the first victory of the night. Oh wow, what a start it is for both teams. It was really close, but EVG, I think they got thrown out of orbit a little bit when RISQ gets B, and they simply didn't know. I mean, well, they probably know what to do here, but I think there is some kind of communication confusion happening here. We saw the Strip K trying to go for this Mandalorian and also potentially a Team F Silver there in the light tank, but suddenly they changed their focus elsewhere. I think this kind of communication confusion really hurt them. They didn't really have a plan in what to do here. It's not really unlike what we saw of EVG against Wise. Or last in the last few days ago, and they really need to change that. They cannot hesitate, and they need to make their instructions clear. RISQ did a really good job with what they are trying to achieve, trying to get B, and force a hand on EVG to make a play. But it's also really risky B, because B is so out in the open, you could get shot when getting the cap. So it's also another potential problem from EVG not able to reset that B cap, and allowing RISQ to get the B cap with relative impunity. Well, not something you want to do on Albershot, of course, and we need things to change for the next one. Congratulations to RISQ so far. It's 1-0 for RISQ at this point. going to see if I have the right. Yep, I have the right scoreline. I'm going to change the scene. Double check my scoreboard. Fantastic, it's correct. We're back. EVG this time on the south spawn, RISQ blue team from the north spawn. And this time EVG is taking triple strength K and quadruple T110E5s. RISQ dropping a 60 TP in favor of an MLE. So we also see double IS4 and F server in the T100 LT. Oh, interesting position from F server for spotting. Look at how many tanks have already been spotted here. Crossing over to A. That's a lot of information for RISQ here to use. And he will run away without taking the hit. And that's a perfect start for RISQ here. Mandalorian probably knows. Oh! Maybe that's something you don't want to do at the start. Takes a big hit while trying to go for B. Obviously, RISQ knows that AVG are sending all the tanks onto A, meaning they are probably able to get B, and they did get B in the end. RISQ gets B with Kappas getting the cat with impunity too. But as we are seeing here, Mandalorian has taken a big hit, so it's not the end of the world for EVG yet. And the Galera tries to put a shot, but I don't think he has aimed that well. He pretty much put that shot instantly, almost immediately after he stopped in that hold down position. So maybe he should take some time in making that shot. But sometimes adrenaline gets in your way. But it's not the end of the world if you can't make that shot, because at the moment they have the hit point pool lead, and that's a good hit point pool lead here. But they have to make a move relatively quickly, because we are talking about tank cap points of increase in per 2 seconds. So EVG essentially has 1 minute to go before they absolutely need to rotate. And where are they going to go? EVG is no stranger to this sort of pressure. They are one of the best teams on the Apex server, mind you. So they definitely know what to do here. And I think what happens last match is just an anomaly, in my opinion. But EVG is also dropping hit points while trying to rotate, and this is not good, because this is going to make it difficult for them to rotate. But they are now trying to make a move over to David with a lot of hit points, and Lisa is also in some sort of trouble. But we are also seeing a 3 versus 2 happening over here, and this is going to be really important. They need to focus fire. On point, Mandalorian and Lisa both dead. Lisa is going to, Milkshake is going to go down very quickly. Oh, it's a bounce here, and Milkshake is being taken out. The Galera is also very low. EVG, they need David out of the way. So far, so good in terms of the kills for EVG. They got 3 kills already compared to 2 for RISQ. But what is going on now is that RISQ has 3 caps. And that's going to be really terrible news for EVG. They really need those tanks out. They really need the gaps back. It's going to help if they get C, but it's not going to be enough at the moment. They need kills. They need kills desperately. Those 3 tanks near B are very healthy. They really need a miracle. They need a miracle to pull off. They need time. Sugar is now down to 1 shot. Born needs that kill onto Sugar. Force is dead, and Sugar is dead. Spartan Sword is left alone here. 1 versus 2. F-Silver coming from behind. Might be trying to get C here. And Born and Spartans trying to get the shots onto where. But it's just a bit chaotic at the moment. RISQ will get this one again. And this is going to be a close call for RISQ. And were it not for the 3 caps captured at one point, RISQ would have suffered this time, but thanks to F server staying alive for the majority of the match, and he did 0 damage, but he did a lot actually, with going around getting those bases, stealing A, and trying to steal C as well. EVG essentially has to rely on 7 kills at that point, and it was a bit too late for them as well. Again, I think EVG is still growing into the match. They are still hesitating a bit. It's not the size of EVG we saw in the group stage. I think they are still getting a hang of it, and if they don't start to get into the game, I think they're going to suffer a lot here. Alright, now we are going to Yukon. We are going to be seeing changes. And it's now 2-0 for RISQ. Really important win so far. Okay. Here we are. I think the right link, I suppose, to something what I'm saying right now. I'm going to say hello to everyone so far. Lots of people in the chat on the screen to say that. Hello to everyone. I'm not going to just say all the names here. But we're going to be seeing changes at a different map. We are on Yukon. It's a different map than Open Shot. But this is somewhat similar in some sense, but it's a 4-cap map. So obviously the cap play is going to be a lot different, but I think the layout, kind of the openness of this map is just it's relatively similar in a lot of sense. So with RISQ doing really well on Alpenstadt in the first 2 games, how about EVG? Are they able to make a comeback here with Yukon? And they really need to do that. RISQ will get B with Lisa. And EVG will get D very quickly as well. At the same time, RISQ will get A, and C not being captured by any clan here. RISQ will be wondering, what is EVG's play in this one? Oh, and we are seeing F Silver in the TVP. Not the tank you see often playing alone. As well, it's a great shot onto Legolera, but Legolera returned fire. So in terms of the trade, it's going to be in favor of EVG. Looking at the lineup here, we have double 60 TPs, double strip case, triple T110D5s on the EVG side. A RISQ side, we have triple 60 TPs, an IS7, double strip K, and the TVP. And we are seeing RISQ. They don't have to do much. They have the caps. They will have 6 cap points per 2 seconds of increase, and the EVG they only have 3. So RISQ cap rate increase is double that of EVG. Once again, EVG has to make a move, but unlike what's going on Alpenstadt, the rate of increase is a lot lower, so they have more time to figure out where the other where the tanks of the other team is. But they're already making a move. They're not leaving things for too late this time. Look at what Type 1078 is trying to do here. Is trying to steal A, and RISQ will need to respond to this. Oh, big shots onto Mandalorian. I love this positioning of EVG. The double 60 TPs completely ready for RISQ to take another route to deal with A, and look at how many hit points been dropped here. But at the same time, EVG has lost a lot of hit points too while going into positions. Now RISQ is now trying to get a bit more compact and make a route push, but they have to make it make a good push here. David is now dead. EVG making another push onto Shugu this side. I think this time EVG is making a really good push, and this is a great coordinated effort. Unlike the effort we saw on the Alpenstadt. They are in the game now. They don't want RISQ to leave this match with relatively few effort, little effort. I will say more shots, more kills handed out by both teams. EVG a 4 versus 3. RISQ now in shambles, trying to find a focus fire now. They got Chromatros, but Wayaway I think wasted a shot there. F Silver now on a really long read on Wayaway is now dead, and it's now 3 versus 2. Kappas I don't think will survive for long. EVG a lot better this time. Kappas is now dead, and that leaves F Silver, the last person standing, and we are going to be seeing a 2-1. So 2-1 now. EVG, well done. This is a great game. Great coordination throughout. Good push. They certainly learned their mistakes on our pitch chart. This is a lot better from them. And they are surely in the game now. They are not to be underestimated. And we are seeing EVG 5 tanks doing more than 2k. RISQ 3 tanks doing more than 2k. And we're back with Yukon. I think RISQ just lost concentration when they realized that their move gets shut down. And as I say sometimes on the stream, if you have an idea, commit to that. Don't have second thoughts unless you're sure that you can kind of transition from your first thought to your second thought. Because what happens when you suddenly change plans is that you might expose yourself to a lot of crossfire. That's what happens. What's happened to RISQ? They suddenly have a change of plans, and I mean, and that allowed EVG to make use of this time of relocation, of regrouping, to get the necessary shots and kills. And EVG, after that kind of hesitate, that plan change from RISQ, they are leading. They were leading by so many hit points, and it was almost impossible for RISQ to bring it back unless EVG bluffs their focus fire, which I know they don't because they are such a disciplined team. They know how to focus fire. They know how to call focus fire. It's not something they don't know what to do. It's amazing to see these two teams going out and muscling each other and playing really well and give us some amazing games to watch. So really love to see that. But EVG will go back. We'll go back now. And they're still down by a game. By a game. So they are now currently 1-2. And they still have a lot to do here. EVG, this time from the north spawn, facing RISQ from the south spawn. And are they going for B this time? EVG will get B quickly, and RISQ will ignore C potentially. They're doing something similar as EVG. And EVG gets B first, so that means they will have to cap B first, but we'll follow cap house. In that 60 TP, spotted a lot of tanks of EVG crossing, but that's a miss from Cap Pass, hitting the hill instead. And that could have caused a landslide, which would deal some collateral damage if physics are real in World Tanks Blitz, but that didn't happen. We aren't seeing a colossal landslide near B, so we're seeing A going to be taken by EVG. Now they are going to extend their cap lead, but RISQ is playing this one really aggressively. They're now trying to get Chromatrox out of the way. Chromatrox is trying to pull back, dropping the reactive armor, but that leaves Type 1007A exposed, and this could be a huge problem now. It's a 1 versus 1 Chromatrox. Permatracked and taken out by David. Important kill here by RISQ, but EVG still has the hit point pool lead, so it's not the end of the world for them yet. They're pretty much in the game, but Milkshake is absolutely focused by by RISQ tanks. EVG needs to find a breakthrough here, and conveniently we are following Kappas now. Milkshake's now dead, Shugu is now dead, Kappas coming from behind, looking to make a big shot onto Lecolera, who is now dead. It's the 5 versus 1. This has descended into pandemonium. Lecolera the focus for RISQ. That's for EVG, they're looking for F Silver instead. But we are also seeing Spartan Sword quite isolated back there, but RISQ is not focusing their their forces onto Spartan Sword. And we are seeing Galera now out of the way. And we are going to be seeing 1-1R be the focus for RISQ. F2 is still really low, still surviving. Now removed by 1-1R, 4 vs 3. This brawl seems to go in favor of EVG right now. They have 4 tanks compared to RISQ with only 3. But RISQ is still trying their best with their focus fire. David lands a kill onto 1-1R, but the Strift K, forced to wipe, and also Hardened Sword has teamed up and killed the tank that they want to kill. Type 1007A's also removed. Is now a 2 vs 2. EVG with caps, with hit points. RISQ, they only have 1 now. Lisa is the last person standing. What a turnaround for EVG, winning two games on Yukon consecutively. And they truly deserve that. Great discipline, great focus fire. RISQ didn't start well with an early kill. But in terms of brawls, it could have gone either way. It was really close to the end. It was I mean, it could have been any team on any day. It all depends on that focus fire, really, and your shot efficiency. This is where your shot efficiency comes to play. And we're going to take a look at the number of bounces. I mean, RISQ. I mean, the shot efficiency of RISQ, you can say, pretty alright. I don't think they have bounced a lot of shots per se. I mean, they pretty much penned all their shots, actually, as you can see, except F Silver. F Silver didn't do, like, the best here. But as you can see, they pretty much penned all their shots. Maybe not Sugar Mugu as well, because he got 7 shots in. But he only did around 1,200, so at least some of them have gone to somewhere else and not register any damage. But let's also look at EVG, the shot efficiency. I mean, also quite similar in a lot of respects. But I mean, the damage here is a lot. 4 times still more than 2k. I mean, forced to wipe. Bounced a couple of shots. And 1-1R bounced a couple of shots as well. So the shot efficiency is relatively equal for both of these teams. But it appears that EVG has been able to put a little bit more shots here. And I think that goes on to show that EVG might have better focus fire. Although it's really hard to see at that point. It was very, very messy. And we're now into Winter Marinovka. Both teams are tied 2-2 here, and it could still go which way.
Let's go.
All right. Here we go. Great to see a couple of key people commenting on what's happened here in the last couple of matches. EVG, oh, milkshake, and F Silver very aggressive in the spots. F Silver taking a hit in that maneuver here, and we can see RISQ. They're going for B. Oh, more shots been fired. EVG, Galera takes a big shot as well. Mandalorian and that 60 TP, but it's going to be B for us going in. But it always comes with a huge risk getting B, because B, you could get yourself trapped here. But A is relatively undiscovered at the point. But RISQ, I love what they're trying to do. They're trying to make a big push onto Galera as well. So this is going to force a move from EVG now, because if they don't deal with this aggression and RISQ, they are going to lose 60 TPs, double 60 TPs really quickly. And they lost Galera already. The Carpas is now really low. The hit points are now in huge favor of RISQ. And Carpas is finally dead. 1-1R is really low here. And we can see RISQ, unless they fluff their focus fire, it's likely that's going to be that case. Oh, look at where Milkshake's positioned. Great overview onto David. Now David is going to go down now, and this is going to bring the entire game to a 5 vs 5. The hit points are still in favor of RISQ, and Milkshake is trying to work his best with that T100 LT. Bfrosted 3 vs 4 now, and forced to wipe. So now chasing Mandalorian. It's a bound, sadly. And Sugar and Mugu is trying to chase, forced to wipe. It is again another messy game. And all the tanks are going for different targets, to be honest with you. It's all down to individual skills at this point. Whichever player bounces the fewest shots. Oh, big shot from Mandalorian on post. Whichever team bounces the fewest shots, whichever player has the fewest bounces, they're going to win that fight. And that leaves Type 1007A, the last Winter standing. Such a quick game. RISQ catching EVG off guard with a decisive aggression push. Everyone could say, everyone watching this stream could say they don't need to do that, but I love that they do that. Sometimes this kind of surprising plays would win you games, and that worked really well for RISQ. They caught EVG off guard, and EVG, they were a little bit slow in that reaction. And I mean, in that situation, it forces you to react almost immediately, and you don't really have time to coordinate. You don't have time to check your logbook and flip through the pages and see what you could do in that particular situation. And RISQ really made use of that push, took out the double 60 TPs really quickly, took out the 2 tanks that would allow EVG to defend nicely, and with 2 tanks removed relatively early in the game, it really relies on EVG whether they can really work with those 5 tanks with the focus fire and so on, and that really gave RISQ a huge upper hand here. And RISQ's map, amazing from RISQ and EVG. Not a lot you could do, to be honest with you. And it's understandable that you can't win these games when 2 of your tanks are taken really quickly. Maybe they will have to work their positioning and sort out the issue here, because if RISQ is allowed to kill those double 60 TPs really quickly, and EVG is not allowed to react to that almost immediately, then it's really not EVG being slow. Maybe EVG needs to sort out the initial positions and prevent that from happening. And we're going to be seeing RISQ. This time, are they going to do something similar to here? And they are now on a match point. And whichever team, no, it's not whichever team, if RISQ wins this game, then they are going to win this fixture, and they are going to...
Let's go.
They're going to qualify to the upper bracket final. Look at EVG, red team for the north spawn. RISQ, blue team for the south spawn. Let's look at Milkshake and the team for the LT. Yeah. So let's see this. Let's see here. Milkshake's going to go for the spots here. Yeah, Alisa is spotted. And A has been captured by RISQ. And they do it, and they did it. They got A, and they will get a cap lead. And EVG will get C here. They're trying to get their hand on B. But the difference from the last battle. Don't take these T100 LTs out of the equation. They can spot whoever is trying to get out of B. And RISQ is totally ready for this. EVG, Spartan Sword, might be trapped. But look at what Robotrox is doing. He's going alone aggressively in the C-110D5, dropping the reactive armor, but is this a great idea? I don't think he has a lot of backup here. He's trying to go for the inappropriate username. And in terms of hit points, he's going to lose that 1v1 fight, and the rest of EVG has come to take out that IA7, but that could leave the other side relatively exposed. So RISQ, now it all relies on their focus fire here. EVG took out IA7, and they're trying to take out Mushik as well, but RISQ, they have to be careful here. EVG having a lot of tanks. If RISQ isn't able to take out the tanks now, they're going to be in deep trouble when it comes to shot efficiency, when it comes to effective EPM. At 6 versus 6 now, the hit points are quite close actually. EVG could still win this one. And RISQ, they have lost Lisa as well. Mandalorian has been taken out. Air Silver is now out of the way. And it's a 4 versus 4. Kappas has. It's a focus for EVG. Spartan Sword is also being taken out. It's now a 3 versus 4. EVG, they have brought back the hit points nicely, but they have forgotten this advantage. And this caught them hard. Nicolero is dead. And I think now this is going to seal the deal, because you can't really do a 2 versus 4. A RISQ, the double team with the LTs, still relatively healthy. And EVG, nothing they can do at this point. I think that was not a good push, especially when we have Chromatrox in the T110E5 just rushing like that without a lot of support. With that initial move, yes, there are reinforcements after that, but already Chromatrox lost so much hit points, and that rendered that 1 versus 1 fight relatively favorable for RISQ. However, RISQ almost threw that away when they were not doing focus fire nicely. That almost got EVG back in the game. That almost brought EVG back in the game. And in the end, they got their focus fire back, and it was a little bit of a rough one for RISQ, but most certainly they are through to the upper bracket first round. Congratulations to RISQ. And we're going to be seeing EVG again, and they're going to be facing the loser of GV versus Weiss. I'm going to read a couple of your comments here. I also saw comments saying EVG the fifth battle of Winter Mayanovka, the double T 60Ps were in bad positions. Won't say it's probably more to do with the 60Ps not well supported by the entire team, and that's where the plan failed for EVG, I think. Yeah, because the 60Ps were just way too isolated, which I agree with Happy Bear. Yeah, someone says RISQ has better corner. I think it was B Frost who was calling, if I remember correctly. He has a lot of experience, but I mean he has been playing for Feast a long time ago. Has been a caller, actually co-caller with Maddox. And I think EVG, I'm not sure who the caller is, but these players have also been playing for quite some time. Yeah. GG's to RISQ. Okay, let me see if we have results for GV versus Weiss already. Let me just check. All right. Alright, so GB versus Rise. Okay. So we saw Rise 4-2 against GB, and we are definitely going to be seeing EVG versus GB in the lower bracket first round. This is what we are going to be following next, and the start time is 10 past. 10 past, so we're going to wait for around 30 minutes or so, but we will keep you entertained with me playing some random battles. And yeah, once again, I'm going to show you the rundown. I'm going to show you the slides again for those of you who have no idea what's going on here. It's Blitz Masters Apex server lower bracket first round. Thank you all for watching, and for those of you who are staying for the stream, for some reason I haven't. I would deal with the lounge later because it's not showing. I will fix the lounge later because the fixtures are showing the wrong one, showing the EU stuff. Anyhow, I can update the bracket on my end for the slides, so you know what's going on there. I apologize for the confusion. Okay, there we go. So, lower bracket first round. So, Blitz final stage format. Let me fix something before I continue. Okay, let me fix something before I continue. It's a double elimination format, best of 7, grand final, best of 9. There are 4 teams in. There are 4 teams here. So, what that means is that EVG is still in the tournament. If they lose against GB, they're out, and they will get 4th place and $1,500 US. The winner will get $7,500 US. And the final stage. Today is the first day of the final stage, and there are 2 more days to go. Tomorrow we will follow the upper bracket final and the lower bracket final. And the final day we will follow the grand final, and I will see if I can get people to interview. That would be amazing indeed. And this is the schedule. Lovely graphic provided by Tolia, and the purple blobs are the dates where the professionals tournament are held, and the yellow ones are the ones you can participate in your own time with your friends and mates and fellas. Lots of rewards for these quick tournaments, and I think they are a good bonding experience. I highly recommend that. And this is a bracket you're all waiting for. I'm going to end the vote here and see. You'll say RISQ is going to get the 4th place. It's not the case. The RISQ will not get the 4th place. Yep. People are saying GB will get the 4th place. 24% of you. 23% of you said EVG will get the 4th place, and Wise. 21% of you are saying they will get 4th place, but we all know RISQ and Wise will get 4th place. So this is it. Tomorrow we will follow RISQ versus Wise first, and in around 30 minutes later it's going to be EVG versus GB in the lower bracket first round, the loser of that will be eliminated from the tournament and get the fourth place at $1,500 US. Here are the maps. We're going to have My Ruins, Vingard, Normandy, and Oasis Palms for the lower bracket first round. 2010 is the time that these games will begin. And here is the roster for you. Once again, EVG team. We have Milkshake as the captain of the team. Trobotrox, Gotsu, Fosterwine. Oh, I love this name. This is inappropriate in a way, but it's not violating the rules per se. It's kind of funny. I like this one. The Galera, UI Apsis, Type 1078, Born, Spartan Sword 121R. On the other hand, with GB's roster, we have Young, Yulia, ADPRST, Athena, Tokyo. I'm gonna say Mr. Hu for now. I'm not sure if it means anything, and I don't want to butcher any Vietnamese names. Bulos, also known as Berlin the Caller, which is famously known for his pep talks, which doesn't exist. His invisible pep talks in cheering up the team in adverse situations. So if EVG is leading by a comfortable margin, be warned. Don't underestimate GV's pep talks. Invisible pep talks, as to say. They are powerful. One of the most powerful forces that you could encounter. Monaco, Doha, and Rome would be the remaining players. You might be wondering why most of these players have city names. I think this is just it is the locations of a video game. I couldn't remember exactly, but it's got to do with something with heist. I don't know. Forgot. I forgot the game that has these locations. But yeah. This is why GB players have place names. So we're going to change that. Mapbox, we're going to update the predictions, but as you can see, Mapbox has got the scoreline, has got the predictions correct, the outcome predictions correct. Exactly the scoreline for Wise versus GB. And yeah, this is good, but that could also become a little bit predictable in some sense. Mapbox has done a really good job so far with the predictions of with the outcome predictions. I only remember Mapbox only getting 3 or 4 of the outcomes wrong, but Thomas Peterson obviously has a lot more outcomes wrong. So that goes on to show how unpredictable the EU server is, and how relatively predictable that the Apex server has been so far. And power rating, you know what's going on, but EVG and GV are pretty close in the power rating, so it could go either way. But I think RISQ victory over EVG will push RISQ to a higher rating. And again, instructions for rewards. At this point, you might not be able to get full rewards, but it's still good for you to get some containers because they contain some rewards. So once again, just click the link that is in the chat or description, and everything will be pretty much self-explanatory, except if you are only seeing a gray screen. If you are seeing a gray screen, then one of your cookies are not activated, and most likely you have disabled targeting cookies. You need to enable that in order to watch the stream and get rewards, because if you are seeing the gray screen, the timer won't start. You must enable targeting cookies. And obviously, you must log into your in-game account on the portal with the right server, as it is only available for the accounts registered on the Apex server. Most importantly, you do not get any rewards for watching on YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube, Wargaming will not know that you're doing that. Wargaming cannot pester Google into getting this sort of information. So you must watch my stream on the portal if you want containers. But glad that a couple of people are hanging around on my chat in my chat, commentating on what the other team has done right and what the other team has done wrong. Really appreciate that. I love to see these kind of intellectual conversations going on. Hi, Penguins. Great to see you here. But it's not GB does communicate in voice chat, as far as I remember. They're not like a silent team, but as far as as I know from other people, they don't do pep talks. That doesn't exist. So Berlin doing good pep talks, it's a myth. It's just me just making this meme because I've seen so many times that GB has made a great comeback despite being down by big margin. So that's not to say GB can't pull this off as well. EVG has to be warned. They know exactly how well GB can do here. Okay, let me just get Babox to predict the next one. All right. Ooh, this is okay. This is it. No. I have the wrong teams. This is not the This is not the right one. Oh, EVG versus GV. We have results. Kafa was asking whether I'm doing any EU streams. No, I'm not doing any EU streams. I'm only doing APAC ones. I'm just going to give chances to other people, especially when other streamers have done a lot more streams than I do, and I do on the EU server. Eminet Fujit will be following firsthand. Nino will also be doing a stream, and they are all reward streams, so do watch them. But then I don't want to be the fourth streamer streaming in English. There is literally no purpose of for fourth English streamer. No one asked for that. Who asked? Who asked for the fourth streamer? Yes. Okay, so Madbox has made the following predictions. We have EVG versus GB. Predicted to go in favor of EVG 4-3. The odds are very close to, although tilting more favorably for EVG. Will that be the case? Will that be the case? Is Madbox correct about this? We'll find out soon in around 20 minutes. I'm going to save that. And if you don't mind me, I'm going to do a bit of work on for the lounge because it wasn't the right format. In the right format. Oh, thank you, Happy Bear, for saying that I am better than most commentators on that. Is any server that that bad with the commentary? I hope not. 34, I know, is doing a really good job with the commentary. Money heist. Yes, money heist. That's what I'm thinking about. Yes, thank you, Will. Tanks Blitz compilation for that. Reminder is money heist that I was talking about for the GV's reasoning behind the usernames having place names. Okay. Why am I opening Word? I don't want to open Word. So bear with me. I am going to add this stuff and enable stuff. There we go. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Not the scope table. Okay, good. All right, I'm back with the right layout for the lounge. So let me bring you to this. Everyone abandoned. I thought 34 has a lot of comp experience. I mean, I do have comp experience, although not at the really highest. The comp experience was like a few years ago. But it was leading a completely new team of completely new novel players, so it was a very difficult thing to do. Yeah, I didn't abandon APAC, but also that a lot of EU streamers, they can't stream APAC because they are having work, and that will happen to me in the future as well when I am not able to stream APAC because of work commitments. Because I'm on the EU region, and there might be a couple of seasons where I might not be able to stream at all for the APAC server. So you have to be prepared about that. I mean, Rolling Sword is also really good. Thank you, Kaiser, for saying that. I think my excitement kind of died away as the bracket goes, as the fixture goes. EBG vs RISQ. Let me absorb some excitement back for the lower bracket first round. You know. Should I talk about camels? Kaiser. And maybe I should be a bit more negative with those teams. EBG versus G. Maybe I should. You know, it's not good to kind of lean into that stigma that APAC teams are really, really bad. And I mean there is a there is stigma going on. Like the APAC teams, they cannot beat any of the EU teams competitively, which I think is completely rubbish. There is certainly stuff that I see on the APAC server teams that are kind of similar to what I see on the EU server. Not like the APAC teams don't know what Clan Wars is. I think they just suffer from the lack of really, really good teams. I mean, really top teams of the EU. So they kind of lack this kind of competition. But they are gradually growing. I like that they have a really, really close community. Which is not something I see a lot on the EU server. EU server can get really toxic and competitive. And don't ask, don't make me talk about how toxic it became last year, especially towards the end of the year, where some teams have explicitly stated that they're not going to train the other team due to some issues. I don't think that is happening on the APAC server. Not that I know. Maybe I am just ill-informed about that. But at least I know these teams. They have a server, a Clan War server together, and it's pretty much an interdisciplinary server with a lot of clans having comp players there working as officials, as administrators, and they're working well together. Although we want another community tournament organized by these guys in the near future. They tried to do one last year, but it didn't happen in the end because people don't have enough time. But I really hope that returns this year. Maybe before the autumn season. We want to see some good games again on APAC server. The first season went well, actually. And there was a scandal, but that was handled really well by the officials of the CWA server. So I really have a lot of faith in them in making another good community tournament. Thank you, Kaiser, for the compliment for the streams last year. No, the stream hasn't ended early. Hasn't ended already. We're just waiting for the next match. Oh, I like that someone is a fan of my laughter. I thought Fujin doesn't matter with his laughter, to be honest with you. Is Asia abandoned? I mean, I don't want to abandon Asia. Asia has a lot of promise as well. And I hope that the offline's going to be back, and that would certainly inspire competition back, more competition on the APAC server. It's not that the competition on the APAC server has died down, although it has kind of gone down from the high of 2021. Especially, I think I don't see that many Japanese clans these days. I mean, there was at one point 3 Japanese clans in top 8. Now we only saw 2, I think. Only 2 notable ones. And there was at a time that we could have had 4 of them actually. Japanese clans. And now we could go back to see the power rating. I'm going to show you that. Because Japanese, Japan, the game in Japan is well received. A lot of players in Japan play this game, and there are lots of competitive teams back then, especially in 2021. I mean, like DIRCOM, E4D, HLV, and then RN. Then I think 9Z was last year. Not 9V, sorry, 9V was last year. I couldn't exactly remember. What else? Yeah, at least 5 I could recall from the back of my mind. And at one point we could have had like E4D, HLV, RN, and also I think DUR in the top 8. Yes, I couldn't exactly remember all of these legendary Japanese clans. But yes, I'm going to show you here. The Japanese clans are Wise, Sarso, SZ, I think, and RISQ. Only these four. Only these four. SZ has been here for a while, but they haven't risen to prominence until like last season actually. And then RISQ is a relatively new clan. I'm not sure if they have players from previous clans. Yeah, I think APAC has grown a lot with the Clan Wars scene. I would say they're certainly going to be a lot better than what they have given us back in 2019. They're going to be a lot tougher to beat, especially the best clan here, which I don't think we're going to be seeing a lot of walkovers. They certainly learn a lot from these streams. I mean, a lot of streamers streaming the Clan Wars scene certainly helped a lot of these APAC clans in improving their gameplay and style. I mean, I know that a lot of the Japanese clans, they watch the RU streams, the RU clans, the top RU clans in the in those streams, and they learn a lot actually. Yeah, I mean, I can say a bit about these clans. RISQ and EVG, I know they are international clans. GB is a Vietnamese clan. Nomad is a mixed clan, as far as I know. They have a couple of Russian recruits. They're now. EA is a predominantly Chinese clan, and so is ELS. Last, I am not sure. They are probably an international clan. That I might be wrong. Maybe Winter Fox can fill me in on these on these clans. Rats also is an international clan, and so is 7-Sib, although a lot of them are from India, from what I know. Or South Asia, the region South Asia in general. So maybe India and some from Bangladesh, I think. If I'm wrong, just correct me on that. ZZ, as I said, mostly Japanese. Boon is an international clan. Our DT is also a Japanese clan. Yeah, that I remember. They are also a Japanese clan. DGS, I think they are also an international clan. I think a couple of them were from Kane. Alright, I'm going to join the room because the room should be up at any moment. Oh yes. Oh, also, it seems Wargaming has fixed the room invite bug because it only shows one invite now. The previous invite has been removed, so it's really good. Now, I was a bit worried that there was only one invite, and I thought I missed the room invite, and that the 10 past thing is a scam, but it's not a scam. All right. So, I'm going to switch the scenes very soon, but the timer is still showing 3 minutes or so, so we're not going to go into the room prematurely because again, 3 minutes of delay. 3 minutes of delay. That is recommended by Wargaming, so I cannot go into the room too quickly. Yeah, DT is a Japanese guy. So I think I have forgotten a lot of the Japanese clans that were there for a while. A long time ago. There were a lot. Seriously, there were lots of the really good ones. Amazingly, I think there are not. I think there are a lot more international clans these days on the Apex server. Yeah, there are a lot more of that. And I also know a couple of new players in the last few seasons as well. There are also some new teams to look out for. Winter season, we saw GLXT and UX. GLXT didn't qualify to the second stage, but they do have potential with their roster. They are totally new tournament players. If they continue to train and improve, I think GLXT might be something to look out for in the Challengers tournament in the next couple of seasons. And so is UX, a Chinese clan from what I saw in the description. Also an interesting one to look out for, but I'm not sure if they are playing on the Chinese server as well. What else do I Leave? But Leave was banned this season because they violated regulations. Not nice, but yeah. There we go. We're now going into the room here. We're going for my ruins, Gyong, and this Drift K and double IS Force. 1 IS7 double 60 TV and VK72.0 on KG EVG. We are seeing double IS4 double Drift K triple VK72. We're looking at my ruins, a map that I think is very heavy oriented, very armor oriented. So the heavy tanks especially work really well in the southeastern region, where the terrain is relatively flat. The middle area is good for Howdown actually, so you do see a couple of Howdown tanks playing from time to time, but I don't think GB has taken any of these tanks, maybe the Drift K actually, and that could work well in the middle, so I do foresee a lot of action in the southeastern area. There is not a lot of mobility as well, so sending these tanks, I mean, not talking about G, sending these tanks over to the northwestern area would not be the best idea, especially if you have to climb terrain. If you have to react to a push happening elsewhere, then tanks near the northwestern corner would not be able to rotate and support in time. So let's see if I'm right on that. Let's see if we are seeing most of the action near A and B. I think these are the caps near the southeastern region. Yes, I said before, EA is basically Riri playing under the EA clan tag. It's last Korean. Maybe it is. I do recall a bit about that as well. I thought they were Singaporean at the start, but they were Korean. Okay, last is basically IB, so that's good to know. Thank you for this. Of course APAC covers India. What are you? Why would you think that's not the case? So we have Chromatrox in the IS4. Oh, good shot onto Bulos here. You should watch my stream. You get all the action of EVG versus GB. B will be captured by Chromatrox alone. I'm not sure why GB doesn't have any shots onto Chromatrox. I jinxed that, obviously. Rome is able to put a really big HE splash onto Chromatrox. Can Chromatrox get B now? Now driving down. This is good because he can now hold down there. He has to be really careful now. He will not be able to get B. And GB will get C. And we are seeing A being captured by EVG as well. That will bring the cap points close. But at the same time again, Chromatrox trying and gets reset by Rome again. Chromatrox might have to give up on getting that cap. And Tokyo Gangster would be really important. EVG without a light tank, they will have to go a long way to get C, and this is going to matter a lot in the late game stages when it comes to the cap play. And if EVG gets B, that will make C cap not as important as it seems. But mind you, GEV is such a good clan when it comes to cat play. So I won't say GEV would not win by caps. They can certainly make it work, and you don't want to lose concentration with that. You don't want to allow GEV to win by cat play. Chromatrox is going to get me again. Rome, great job in the reset here. But Chromatrox is not giving up. It's insisting on getting me. The hit points are still quite close. GEV has lost some hit points while trying to reset B. With Rome, Gyong, and Bulos losing quite a lot of hit points here. So EVG, they can try again. But they have to be careful. They have to be really, really careful. Oh. So Leaf is disbanded. Okay. So, well, let's hope that Leaf will be back soon. But yeah. I shouldn't be laughing at this, should I? So, Young is going here in the middle. I'm sorry for laughing at that, actually. Nothing much is happening. I'm a bit not concentrated with this match. Nothing is really happening. Essentially, GVG needs to make a rotation, not GVG. But we are only around like 100 more cap points to go before we see a lot of action. 5 cap points per 2 seconds increase. Maths will tell us EVG has less than a minute to go. They need to sort out what to do, but they definitely have a way. They definitely have a plan. We will see a push coming in sooner or later. GV will be completely ready for this. They are anticipating a push, but the question is, where will that push happen? It will not be overseas. It will not be overseas. No one's near sea. So everything will happen on A. As I said about the tanks that these two clans are taking, they are all really slow tanks. So it doesn't make a lot of sense for them to rotate back over to C and surprise them from behind. That would make them really slow and easy to be spotted with that push. Now we're seeing some action going around near middle. We could see a push over the middle of Type 7 1007A. Rotate to the middle with a VK 72.01k. Is this a good move from Type 7 1007A? I don't think so. It's been taken out now. Gyong has been removed from the battlefield. We're seeing a lot of action here. 2 versus 3. GV looking at Chromatrox right now. All about focus fire here. GV gets B finally. I mean, it's AVG getting B finally. But I don't think that is going to matter here because GV will get a reset on B. They will stop B from having cap points increase for EVG. Bulos and Chromatrox now being taken out. And it's going to be a 5 versus 5. This is getting really close, actually. All both tanks being taken out. Monaco and Milkshake Athena very healthy. The Galera is a focus for GV now. On the other hand, 1 versus 1 potentially happening. A 1-2-1 out of and Tokyo, big shot there. I'm not going to follow that now because Tokyo is surely going to win this one at 1 versus 1 fight. And both teams, they are not really trying to focus their shots, but GV got an important kill in the end, and that is what matters for them. Well done to GV. That was an important win. 4 tanks doing more than 2k. EVG only 3 tanks doing more than 2k. Question is, Type 1007A, is this a great move with a VK72 going through, rotating through the middle, exposing your side armor to GEV? I don't know. That's the question that I think EVG is going to answer better. But I would assume that would that didn't work out. That what we are sure is that didn't work out. That surely didn't work out. So we're going to be going to the second game of GB versus EVG. Alrighty. We have GB. We have Gyeong in the Swift K, double IS4 by Athena, Bulos, Stoha, IS7, double 60TP by Monaco and Tokyo. Rome playing the VK72, EVG, double IS4 by Milkshake, Chromatrox, 1-to-1 hour, and Type 1007A in the Swift K, Type 1007A, not playing the VK anymore. He's changed hands, but they're still playing triple VK. Forced the Galera and Spartan Swords triple VK 72.01k. The reason I think this says VK 72.01k shouldn't go to the middle, rotates to the middle, is because it's tall, it's slow, the side armor is weak. You don't want to do that. You really want to make use of the cover in the southwest and southeastern region, and this tank can be quite trollish through the frontal armor. And perhaps a side scrape, perhaps side scraping as well. So now, GB this time from the south spawn, EVG from the north spawn. Let's see what they're going to do. GB with Gyeong. Nope, going middle, but not really going middle. Let's follow Milkshake here, the T100 LT. This time GB, quite obvious from the lineup. Or is it not obvious from the lineup? I don't think it's that obvious from the lineup. They're going for C. They are going for C, and this might be an issue. They don't have a lot of howdown tanks, and they are relatively slow tanks as well. So, it relies on EVG whether they can make use of this information and get a good foothold with the caps. Chromatrox this time will get B with relative ease. So this is going to give them free reins over the southeastern area with GB going all the way. Great shots onto Bulos here. Rome in that 72.01k, dropping that consumable big damage numbers onto Chromatrox. But we are essentially seeing a 1 versus 1 fight, but Chromatrox bounces that shot. And he takes another hit, a double tap. And Monaco going down as well. Big kill there. Oh, GB a great start here with that kill to Chromatrox. And EVG makes no hesitation to rotate. 2 versus 2. They're looking to take Bulos out of the way. Tokyo's trying to shield, allowing 1-to-1 now. Derpy shot somewhere else. But GB is looking for good Golera now. Bulos now dead. GB also makes a play over to the middle. EVG looks quite separated, and this could be a problem for EVG. They don't have hit points. The guns are even, but GB, they look a lot more organized. And this could be a problem here. 1-to-1 now is now dead. Forced is also dead. It's now a 6 versus 4. Gyeong is going to be shut down by the double tanks over here. Down to a 1-shot. And GB will be looking to take out Spartan Sword as well. Big shot to the Golera. Onto Tokyo by La Galera. Doha looking to join Rome on getting Spartan Sword, and GB has 2 caps as well, and this is looking really good for GB. However, if Rome isn't able to put shots onto Spartan Sword, which it does now, it could have been catastrophic, but that's an important kill right there. La Galera still reloading. Can he get an important kill before he dies? Oh, no, he cannot. C has been captured now by Milkshake, and Type 1007A defending this area. Big shot onto Rome, but that's just less than 300 damage inflicted. Tokyo is out of the game. Great track shot to Monaco, trying to nudge the shot away from him, but that didn't prevent the shot going in. And some circle of death happening around this rock, going in favor of Doha because he has support. This game goes to GB as well, bringing this to a 2-0. What a strong performance by GB again. EVG, I think they got absolutely dissected by GB's push, and they are unable to have cohesion with the position that they are taking there. There are 2 separate blocks dealing separate targets, and this is exactly what GB wants. GB wants EVG to be unable to focus fire, and they did that well. Great kill onto Chromatrox. That forces EVG to react, and I think that they have to make an instant reaction, and they kind of panicked. And they weren't able to get anything out of it. GV 6 tanks doing more than 2k, EVG with only 5. What an emphatic win for GV again. It's now 2-0, and again, EVG needs to make a comeback to this game. They are struggling at the moment. Alrighty, so we are now on to Vineyards, a totally different map. Vineyards is a lot more open than Mine Room, and so we could see a totally different gameplay for both of these teams. It relies a lot more heavily on crossfire, and that's a challenge for both of these teams, a total change of pace. It's unlike the first matchup we saw in the upper bracket first round, where Yukon and also Alpenstadt are relatively similar in terms of the playstyle and what to expect here. This is totally different. So we could see GV making use of this and doing something completely different. But this is also a map for redemption for EVG. As they did on Yukon, can they do it on Vineyards as well? Rome going for A, not as quickly as Milkshake on B. So that will make that will give EVG the cap lead instead of GV. But it's by a tiny margin, just only 5 cap points separating between these two teams. Again, a brief cap stop on A could do the job to give EVG back the cap lead they need, or a single kill. So either two of these would work, but GV definitely will be defending A here because they do not want that cap stop to happen, and they will make sure EVG will pay a hefty price if they make that move. And again, both teams trying to work their positions to shoot stuff, to punish whoever is getting a bit careless, and Rome does that on did that on Gosu, inflicting some damage, although not a definitive shot there. And as we speak, GV got C, and they will have bigger cap lead. But what's going to happen is going to surprise Bulos on fire. 3 tanks going for Bulos. What can you do here? I don't know. GV might have to make a push on the other side now because Bulos is going to go down very quickly. And Chromatros again bouncing the shots. EVG has to hurry up there. GV has now sent some reinforcements, but Bulos will not be saved in this situation. Now GV has made a push near B and A, but EVG has diligently rotated quickly and make their lineup a lot more compact. They found Tokyo really isolated, and GV, if they don't start killing tanks now, they are going to struggle a lot here. And EVG, they're going to take out Tokyo, but at the same time, EVG might have lost map control because they have lost both A and B. They have hit points, but not by a lot. Milkshake and Chromatrox losing a lot of hit points while trying to go out in the open. They really need to stop dropping unnecessary hit points now. EVG, they need to continue this rhythm. They have started this really well, and they do not want to hesitate because GV, what they want to do, they want to bleed EVG. They want EVG's pace to slow down, but there is no slowdown of EVG right now. EVG is looking for the head of Gyeong, and Gyeong is trying to move back with the Strift K, dropping the adrenaline and the speed boost. But EVG, they really need to take out those one shots now. Milkshake is now dead, Doha is dead, Athena is now really isolated, but Type 1078 is also dead. It's a 4 versus 4 situation. EVG with more hit points, but GB has more cap points, and Rome could capture C as well. This is going to be intense stuff. EVG this last minute is going to matter a lot for them. It's going to be between a 1-2 scoreline or a 0-3 scoreline. EVG does not want to fluff this one, does not want to throw this one away. Oh no, 1-1 hour is on fire! And he's been slowed down. Gossu is being taken out. 3 versus 3. There's no chance for GB. Rome's trying to get C, but Golera is dealing with that exactly. Spartan's on not a lot of hit points. Another fire on Spartan's sword. EVG getting unlucky with the fire, but GB pulls off. EVG now has 3 caps. GB with none. EVG, they lost Spartan's sword. It's a 2 versus 2. Guillaume's now 1 shot, but they will win by caps anyway. Oh, that was a close one indeed. EVG, well done there. GB, maybe they had an inappropriate response to Bulos being pushed by 3 tanks. In that situation, you should rotate immediately on the other side and not provide some questionable support to Bulos. Like, Bulos isolated, yeah, you're going to only lose 1 tank, but if you work the numbers out, EVG will have 3 tanks over to the city side, and that would mean they only have 4 tanks on the other side. GB, if they send the 6 other tanks to deal with the other side, it's a 6 versus 4. You will have more tanks to deal with, and you have more tanks, and you have the numerical advantage over there. So what GB did is that they're trying to provide support to Bulos, but that rendered another tank of GB isolated, and I think EVG, they got 2 tanks quite 2 tanks pretty much free for pretty much up for grabs. They almost made a hefty mistake with Milkshake. Milkshake going out in the open like that and lost so many hit points. Almost brought the hit point pool close again. You don't really want to make these kind of careless mistakes, because GB can punish these kind of mistakes nicely, and they definitely rectified that mistake immediately, and that 200 LT got into safety and waited for the tanks in the middle to push and deal some damage and get those tanks out, and the focus fire was a little bit all over the place for both these teams, but then EVG did a little bit better there. So in the end, EVG won, and it was, they made a good push with a couple of flaws, but I would say GB didn't respond well to that push in the end, which gave EVG a good win. We are back on Vineyards and GB versus EVG. 2-1 for to GB now. EVG, are they able to win the next one and bring it to a 2-2? Oh, Grubberstrokes is living in the UK. He will get a lot of ping, like 200 and so ping in the UK. That's not nice, actually. A will be captured by Spartan Sword again. The south side has the advantage of getting into the cap more quickly than the other side, but maybe it might also depend on which position you spawn in those positions. What happened to 1-1? Oh, interesting position. That's an interesting position. I thought he is AFK. He's not. He's there to reset A, and he's going to rely on Spartan Sword to relay the information there. So we'll see what happens there. The 1-1 hour is a bait. Essentially, if GB pushes onto 1-1 hour, they have to go a long way, and they have to go out in the open as well. And I think this is exactly what these 3 tanks are trying to do. They're setting up a bait trap for GB, and EVG, they got C as well. So that brings EVG a good solid lead with the cap points. And GB, despite them capturing B at the start more quickly than EVG, they have to make a move. And how exactly they're going to make a move would be the question. They will answer sooner or later. And let's see what we're going to be, what's going to happen. Oh, we're going to be seeing another push coming from GV. It's a similar push as we saw, but the difference is Bulos is in the IS-4, Milkshake is in the Sheridan. Obviously you know the difference here because Milkshake can run away very quickly, can get a spot a lot further away than the IS-4. And look at how much damage these three tanks, and for really second, Milkshake takes a big hit while trying to run away there. Oh, this brings the hit points quite close again. And the EVG now making the counter push onto C with 5 tanks. They're trapping these tanks in the city side. They might again lose the map control, but they have two caps, however. I think they're trying to steal the game with the kills, but they're exactly not getting the kills here. And they got a kill onto Gyeong, and that brings them to 900 cap points. And GB really needs to start killing off tanks, because if they don't, they're going to lose this battle here. And the EVG surely needs to get focus fire, because I think this is going to come back and haunt them. They lost both, I see the Golera, and Monaco is also dead. They also lost Chromatrox as well. It's a 4 versus 5 here. EVG, they are losing C potentially, but they got Tokyo, which is good. And they still have A, or maybe not. Maybe not, because Bulos is in A. There is a cap stop here. EVG just only needs a kill. And they got a hill on Doha. And that brings EVG back in the fray. 2-2 now. Well done to EVG. That's the difference here between GB and EVG. Same strategy for both teams. The south side team forced to rotate on the other side. Forced to rotate through the city with 3 tanks. The difference here is a Sheridan and an IS-4. And look at how much of the difference it makes with relaying of information. That Sheridan spotted those rotating tanks so early that those rotating tanks have already taken some beating when they are trying to go to C. And I like how EVG responded this time. They did not allow any single tank to be so far forward isolated, and GB simply, they don't have a lot to do. Their plans were foiled, their plans were stymied. It really relies on their focus fire. Both teams, their focus fire is a little bit off. Had GB been able to kill tanks more quickly, I think GB might have been able to make a comeback here. And EVG might have been duly punished for that, but as it seems, both teams seem to struggle a bit with the focus fire. They seem to be distracted by a lot of the low hit point pool targets, but in the end, EVG prevailed, and that hold was done brilliantly. We're now onto Normandy, and we're going to be seeing changes here, and it's going to be EVG versus DB. 2-2 now. Please don't spoil the scoreline. Oh, Kaplan's playing with RISQ. Oh, I didn't know that. So I hope ID will be back. ID is a really good team. Thank you, Kapufos, for joining the stream for today.
Let's go.
There we go, GB this time. Oh, a mouse. AVG, are you going to focus the mouse? But it's a really weird map to play the mouse in. Normandy, a little bit similar to Vineyards, as they are both quite undulated and open. But this is a 4-cap map. I mean, there are a lot of similarities, to be honest with you, but there is no city side for Normandy, so there is that. And we are seeing EVG going to get A as well, very early in the game. D has been captured, and are they going to get B as well? They're getting really greedy here. And Gotsu, let's follow Gotsu for a moment. If he gets shot, then it will be interesting. No, he's not getting shot at all. I am not very sure about GB pushing with 7 tanks over to one side, giving up map control entirely. Because EVG, they can defend here. They have a lot more positions to take to provide crossfire, but we could potentially see a mistake here. 1-to-1 R going it forward, pretty much forward alone. And this is exactly what GB is trying to do today. I try to focus 1-to-1 R, and 1-to-1 R needs to move back now because GB will get a kill first if they. And they did get a kill first. 1-to-1 R is dead. The hit was a close. Neck and neck. Chromatrox now leading in charge. GB relatively close to one another. Bulos down to 1 shot. EVG did try to focus the mouse, but maybe not now. And you can see how strong the mouse is. The armor. Chromatrox is now dead. Bulos is now dead. And we can see now GB looking for Type 1007A. Rome looking for the other target, unfortunately. Type 1007A now dead. Hip was now in huge favor of GB. Lecolera is on fire, and Tokyo is going to put a fake shot onto Milkshake. Yes, it is the case. Gotsu looking for Monaco here, but it's going to be Gyong that's going to take a hit instead. Milkshake looking to take out Gyong. It's the case here. 5 versus 3. Spartan Sword now a 1-shot. Taken out as well, Doha, big shot onto Milkshake. Milkshake looking for Doha now, or maybe Athena. But it's a big shell onto Doha here, and it's a 4 versus 1 now. GB looking for Gostel, the last person standing for EVG. Rome takes a bait hit from Gotsu, and Gotsu is going to go down. Takes a bounce to Doha. Athena looking to get that kill there onto Gotsu, bringing this to a 3-2 for GB. Oh, people say ID should be back for spring. Okay, we will see. It will be really good. That sounds like sucks. Okay, so GB 4 tank sumo and 2K. Not really sure about that push without any that really concerted push, really compact push down D. EVG was totally ready for that push, but they were not good with that defense. Like there is a Type 1007A so far forward to the rest of the team. Like it's pretty much 6 other tanks behind, 1 tank particularly in front, and suddenly GB like, oh, like we know what to do. Get that tank out there, and that's how GB got the game going. They got a tank out, and it just kept rolling forward, and there is no stopping of them pretty much. EVG, they need to be careful with these kind of positional mistakes, because GB is not making any single one of them. They were pretty much stuck together, horizontal straight line, no particular tanks as far forward. This is, some good formation we are seeing. Bulos in the mouse taking a lots of hits, and a lot of bounces as well. This is exactly what the mouse is here for, absorbing the shots. A lot of hit points as well. So there is a lot of saying that you shouldn't focus the mouse first, because it's exactly what the mouse is here for. Wants to absorb your shots, reduce your shot efficiency, and that allowed GB to win, basically. And then we are seeing GB, red team from the north spawn, and they're going for another big push again this time. EVG blue team from the south spawn, and they're going for a little bit of a spread here. Oh, Tokyo missing that shot. Spartan Sword takes a shot from Young. Again, EVG going to capture both A and C very quickly, but GB This is a strategy that I see often going to hold down in this dish here. They're totally running out of C because they know that they might be in trouble. Milkshake takes a hit here, but is unable to return fire. Will EVG be able to rush the other side? Oh, it's Bulos against 1-2-1 now. It's 1 versus 1. 1-1 now bounces the backside of Bulos. And this is going to be a 1 versus 1 fight, but at the same time, Monaco is really low. Gosso has been pushed. It's all about focus fire again. EVG needs to be really good with that. Legonera gets Monaco out of the way, but Gotsu also gets taken out. Milkshake is going to be a focus for GB, now quite isolated. EVG looking very spread out at the moment. I fear for EVG here. Legonera trying to team up with Chromatrox onto Tokyo. Legonera, no, going for Gyeong instead. Chromatrox on fire. The reload time is also going to be hampered by a lot, and I think this could change the rhythm of the game. Bulos is now dead. And both the Golera and Neons are dead as well. Milkshake is going to go down to Athena at 4 versus 3 right now. Rome is quite low. 1-1 now coming for Rome. 1078 needs to survive. 4 versus 3. GB with a little bit more hit points here. Athena coming in to save the day. But Rome is killed by fire. 1-1 now trying to shield. Type 1078. Athena shoots the wrong target here. But Doha will get a kill here. Tokyo now down to 1 shoulder. Type 1-1 R needs to get a kill. Takes a big HE shell from behind by Athena. But EVG is still not well connected. But GB could connect both their shots onto one single tank. Spartan Sword would be important to save the day. Double T110E5 could be extremely dangerous. Big double tap onto Doha. Athena needs to get a shot onto 1-1 now. That rock might be enough. But, oh no, I think one of the shots bounced. Doha, great shot there. Athena trying his best to shield. Spartan Sword gets the kill. It's a 2 versus 1 here. Athena needs to get that kill onto 1-1 now. And they do. Spartan Sword has to get this one here. Oh, but the Capos are in favor of GB here. It's a 1 versus 1. Pressure on Spartan Sword now. He could be killed by an HE shell. Bumps into the carcass of the plane, and Athena looking for Spartan Sword. Now Spartan Sword, it's almost there. He almost got a shot in. It's not the case in the end. Spartan Sword now going for D. Again, Athena has a chance, but just a split second there actually. He couldn't put a shot in. Athena ready to put a shot whenever Spartan Sword goes out. 588 hit points for Spartan Sword. Spartan Sword. Athena spotted. Spartan Sword. Oh, it's a miss from Athena. Spartan Sword. Lucky to dodge that. And Athena takes a hit again. This is tantalizingly close. EVG has the count lead now. Spartan Sword now going for C. Spartan Sword might want to go for a kill actually here. I don't know. Athena going for D. Athena looking at C actually. Tentatively going looking at the left side. Spartan Sword got Athena spotted and got an important kill, bringing this to a tiebreaker. 3-3. EVG. What a nerve-wracking game. This is surely going to be a matchup for the history books. This is so close. EV 5 tanks doing more than 2k and EVG 3 tanks doing more than 2k and Spartan Sword. 1 versus 1. No pressure for Spartan Sword whatsoever. Maybe he's just tremendously shaky. Getting, well, EVG would have to thank Spartan Sword for carrying them at in that 1 versus 1 maneuver. And wow, what a game! What a game it is! 3-3 now. It's Ash on the Seeds though. I hope you all enjoyed that. That was amazing. I didn't play that game that brilliant. Alrighty, it was so close. I'm going to lose my voice at this point, actually. And there we go. GB now. This is the tiebreaker. Always it's fun. It's all or nothing for these both teams, but DBG has to ready up with 7 players to start off with Spartan Sword. You don't want to repeat what Wise did before. They are going to take quadruple 60 TPs. Wow. GB now taking double 60 TP, a nice for Mouse, Shrift K, T110E5, WZ113 EPG. With also a Kran, double T110E5. Oh my god. Will EBG pick up the confidence they sorely need after a hard-fought victory over Normandy in the 6th battle? I'm going to find out now. Young in that Strip K. Going up the dunes, tentatively spotting. Only spotted 121R and types 1078, that T110E5. Ooh, how down there. All Rome is unable to put a shot in. And we're just holding here for a moment. And both teams trying their best to score their first blood as we are speaking. Milkshake in the Kramwagen is going to get C and A. Ooh. GB thinks that they can push. It's all EBG. They need to defend. Type 1077A is all about EBG getting a good horizontal straight line, but GB's push has been stopped, and this is a good start for EBG. But Type 1077A was tracked here. But that push has gone horribly wrong for GB. They weren't able to push anymore forward. And now EBG is going to make a counter push. And GB is all on focus fire. Type 1078 would be the focus for GB. But EBG is going to make it really difficult. 5 vs 4 over this area. EBG 3 vs 2 over the other area. Type 178A is being cut off. And Rome is being cut off. The hit points are still really close. GB, the focus fire is there. EVG, they need it. They need this now. Amatros from the reactive armor. Great shot to Monaco. The next tank down. A bit all over the place for EVG actually. The Galera is dead. Monaco is dead. GB steadily gaining the advantage now with the guns. They have the gun advantage. Milkshake firing a good shot onto Young. Bulos in that mouse. EVG needs to ignore that. Young is being taken out. Spartan Sword being taken out by Bulos again. 3 vs 4. EVG, Kramwagen of Milkshake will have terribly low DPM. And Milkshake needs to stay safe. Big shot onto Milkshake. And there we have 121R trying to kill Tokyo, but Bulos is there to stop that from happening. 121R could only push shots onto Tokyo, unfortunately. Milkshake will go there to kill Tokyo now. Gosu is being taken out by these two tanks, Athena and Doha. 3 vs 3. Hit puts in huge favor of GB right now. Gosu, big shot onto Doha. Now a one shot. Milkshake. Unfortunately, the terrible DPM there is going to be an obstacle for EPG. And EPG can only hope that GB is going to slip over any minute. Big shot onto onto Bulos by 121R, and that leaves Milkshake the last person standing. Great kill onto Doha, but is it going to be enough? Big shot onto Bulos. EVG has the cap points though. They still have the cap points, and Milkshake will have to hope that Bulos is going to die and Athena is going to bounce their shells. Oh dear. This is going to be close again, but I don't think EVG is going to bring it through. I think we're going to be seeing GB going qualifying to the lower bracket final. Athena is not going to be the one killing. It's going to be Bulos getting the shot in, sending GB to the lower bracket final. Congratulations to GB. I think EVG's focus fire is not as good as GVG. They were stopped in that push. It almost went terribly wrong, but EVG's focus fire also went terribly wrong as well. So in the end, GV just with their superior focus fire, they were able to kill to have a tank advantage, to have a gun advantage throughout the entirety of the match, which that means they are able of the game, meaning they are able to have higher effective DPM, and that matters the most. Well done to GV, 5 tanks doing more than 2k, and EVG, 4 tanks doing more than 2k. Sadly, we have to say goodbye to EVG. They will go home with the 4th place. Thank you very much. And I think the rewards are going to last for another like 20 minutes or so. So you still have some time. I'm going to play some random matches on my EU account. But until then, thank you for watching, and let me just get the score line. Keaton. There we go. EVG is eliminated. Tomorrow we are following RISQ versus Wise. The loser of that against GV in the lower bracket final. Okay, so let me just let me just go through the brackets for the other servers. So I'm going. So this is completed for today. You can still earn containers. If you have joined in late, then there is still time for you to gain containers. But you have gained all the containers, then congratulations. But do stick around. EU server, we have APA versus ARWV first in the upper bracket first round. And that will be streamed by Robert and Emudat in English, Robert in Spanish. Fujit and also Elderly Beast will be following Rejax versus TKT, and that will be, and Fujit will be streaming in English, Elderly Beast in Ukrainian, I think, or Russian. I think Ukrainian is the answer. But 2 new teams in the fray, Rejax and TKT, I don't think anyone would have expected these 2 teams to go through, but they are definitely dark horses. You don't want to write them off just yet. But APA and ARWV will definitely be the contenders for the win, especially when APA is the champion of the EU server for the Blitz Cup last year in the in autumn. And then we have NA. Ponder will be up first against Origin X Origin, and that will be streamed by Robert in Spanish. 34 will follow Apex versus Jokers in the upper bracket first round. And we will see how it goes. But I won't be able to update that a lot. Like almost instantly, I was asleep at that time, so apologies. But I will congratulate the teams if they win the end. So yeah. So EVG is eliminated. So I'm going to play some matches on the EU server, and then I will see you all tomorrow. I'll be joining the EU streams later this evening, so I'll be in the chat. Please do say hi, and yeah, I'll be happy to follow and see what goes on. Alright, so I lost my birthday with M6 because I didn't get that in the end. What birthday do I need to? Oh, WZ. I'm going to take WZ here. I'm going to play this. I hope I will get the win. Yeah, the crossfire was really good. I think it was the focus fire that GB did better than EVG in the end. It was really close, also down to shot efficiency as well. Let me use that woman's ring. Let's row.
Time to roll out. Injured. We can't fire as fast.
That's not nice. Maybe I could try and get B.
We've lost a track. We're stuck here. We've damaged them.
Oops. Nope. Oh, Gorilla 15 is dead. This Centurion is going to be taken out soon, I think. I'm going to ignore that for now. Oh. It's such a poor reload. That's a win. Oh, AFK. An AFK. Oh, no, an AFK. But he bounced me. They bounced me, so it's all good. It's a win. I didn't do much. And yes, thank you. Going to collect some stuff. Alright, maybe I should take some mediums. Because I haven't played a lot of mediums these days. I'm gonna play. Why not 30B? Haven't played it in a while, and it's arguably one of the weaker ones. Let's go. I can feel my voice is going to. It's losing. I'm losing. But we move. It was such a nice match to watch today. 4 to win for RISQ. 4-3 win for GV. EVG will leave tonight without any much regrets except 4th place, but some team would have to finish in the 4th place. So it happens to be EVG, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. I don't think GV is going to overtake EVG in the power rating though, because there is a little bit of gap.
Move out.
I would play probably another match before I go, but we will see about the time. Oh, yeah, no, I'm gonna leave back. That 60 TP could be a bait. Oh, yeah. That was not nice. I was being a bit too risky there. No. I think I am doomed. I am doomed. I think I am terribly doomed.
Enemy armor is hit.
Unless I'm able to get the bat chat together with the Minotauro.
Enemy armor is hit.
Which is possible. I think I can do that. Yeah, great one. I can't get the projector. Oh no. We lost another tank.
Enemy armor is damaged. Penetration.
Ooh. That was a miss for you. Yeah, FF45, go for it. Thank you. Yeah, we got it. That start out was really painful, but our team was doing good. Ah, good. Ah, that was a bad game for me, but we won. So it doesn't matter. Alright, play one more, I think. And then I think you should be the timer will stop. 1-1, which is now tank I will play. Alright, let's go. Oh. No. The LCB one is so good. But I'm going to be doing as well. Playing like that. Oh, we lost a tank already? How exactly? Oh, we have a lot of camping heavies as well. Oh no. Oh, my ping, it's a bit bad. Good kill on that. No. Oh my god. They are pushing.
Enemy armor is damaged.
Oh wow, I can farm here.
Enemy armor is hit. We've damaged them.
Yeah.
Enemy armor destroyed.
No. Move forward, yeah. Thank you. Oh shit. T B no, I didn't say that. I didn't swear. But oh, yes.
Damage them.
They're not aiming at me, I think.
Gotcha.
Yeah, imagine what are they doing back there?
Enemy armor is damaged.
I'm pretty much farming from. Ah, it's not going to work, isn't it? Oh my god.
Enemy armor is damaged.
Bye.
Got him.
Thank you, it's a good game. It's a great game, 4 kills, and I am doing a lot of damage, I think. Let me see. Yes, I am doing a lot of damage. 4k. I like Until One, it's a great game. It's an amazing game. Amazing tank, I mean. And I'm getting a lot of rewards as well, so I think this is over. I think you are not able to get any more rewards for this stream, so why not end it here, and thank you all for watching. I'm just going to double check. I am a bit worried that I'm wrong. I might be wrong. Let me see if I can earn anything. Now, I shouldn't be able to earn anything. Yes. Yeah, it's over now. Good. Yeah. Thank you all for watching. See you tomorrow. And also tonight for the EU people. Bye. Thank you and bye for now.